Could you introduce yourself and your company?
Yes, of course. My name is Mikkel, first name, and I am CEO and one of the founders of Zendesk. I am from Copenhagen, from Denmark, but now live in San Francisco, where we also have the headquarters of Zendesk. We build a beautifully simple customer service software, and we make it very, very easy for our customers, and we have more than 30,000 businesses around the world to provide great customer service to their customers.
Let me translate a little bit in
Yes.
Japanese. デンマークから出身なんですけれども、今サンフランシスコ、you have office in San Francisco, right?
We headquarters
and
I live in
サンフランシスコに本部を置いて、Zendesk というカスタマーサービス Is that an application program? Or?
It's software for enterprises to provide great customer support.
Is it for a calling center?
For call centers, for support functions, for customer service operations, yes.
はい、カスタマーサービス、コールセンターであるとかサポートデスクであるとかそれの時に使うプログラムですね。So that program is going to be for the people who work for call centers, or the customers themselves use that?
No, it's used within the enterprise, within the companies, and they use the software to receive emails and phone calls and chats and so on to engage with their customers, and they use this software to manage all these customer interactions.
はい、顧客との関係を一つのプログラムで、対応するプログラムだそうです。E メールであるとかチャットであるとかそういうのも全部一元的に管理できるということで、コールセンターの職員であるとかカスタマーサービスの職員がそのプログラムを使って、顧客対応するということですね。And how big is your company now?
So we've been around for 6 years since we launched the product. We bootstrapped for 2 years, and then we moved the company to San Francisco. So we've been in San Francisco for 4 years now. We have offices, I think 10 offices in 9 different countries. We have an office here in Tokyo too. We have 30,000 businesses and we have 500 employees in the company.
500人の従業員と 30,000 customers?
30,000 businesses. 30,000 customers, yes.
Right. 3万社が顧客になっていてこのプログラムを使っているということで、もともとデンマーク出身なんですけど、2 years ago、2年前にサンフランシスコに移られて、本部を移されてそこで活動されているということなんですけど。Okay, you are the main speaker of the keynote session of IVS, and historically, really big companies, the Japanese big companies, CEOs were the keynote speakers of IVS. Okay. And why do you think the IVS people chose you to be a keynote speaker? What's so good about your company? What's so special about your company?
I think there was a lot of hopeful entrepreneurs and early entrepreneurs and early companies in the audience, and I think for them it's interesting to hear about other companies, including Zendesk, my own company, that's been through a tremendous growth period, that have struggled with putting founding teams together, that have struggled with raising capital, raising money, that are working with Silicon Valley companies and have sold their products to a global audience. I think there's a hunger to hear about our story, to hear about how startups like Zendesk have succeeded and have come to where they are today, and learn from that story.
Okay, so you are originally from Denmark.
Yes.
And I understand Denmark is the number one country in terms of people's happiness, right? Then how come you moved to San Francisco?
Well, Denmark is of course my home country, and I love Denmark. But I think Denmark is also a very, very small economy. There's only 6 million people in Denmark, and there's only a limited number of companies, and it's a very small economy. So I think if you really want to build a fast-growing company like Zendesk, you have to take it out and move the company to where it makes most sense. And for a technology startup, being in San Francisco and being in Silicon Valley is definitely the most interesting place to build a company.
Do you advise Japanese entrepreneurs to, if they want to be big internationally, they should move to San Francisco, Silicon Valley area?
I think it's very important to spend time there. I think because you can learn so much by the pace of the industry, by the buzz, by the networking effect, and so on. So I definitely will recommend everybody to spend time there and learn from that. I think there's different opportunities for different kind of companies in different regions. I think that we've already seen how New York has been very good at attracting technology startups in finance and in fashion. And I definitely think that you can build successful startups outside of San Francisco and Silicon Valley. I think we've seen very successful companies out of Chicago too, and we've seen very successful companies out of Europe. So it's not like you have to be there, but I think that if you look at the success rate of technology companies, I would argue that you see a lot more successful companies, technology startups, coming out of Silicon Valley and San Francisco than you see anywhere else in the world.
いろんな都市で、それぞれ違いがあって、ニューヨークではファッションが良かったりとか、いろいろあるのかもしれないですけど、テクノロジーカンパニーだったら、シリコンバレーがいいということだと思うんですけども、あとデンマークがやっぱり小さな国なんで、世界的に、活躍しようと思えば、シリコンバレーに行くのが良かったということをおっしゃっています。Okay, a lot of Japanese startups actually have tried working at Silicon Valley, but many failed. So where do you draw a line? Why some companies succeed in Silicon Valley and why other companies fail?
Well, I think failing is just one of the many things you have to do when trying to be successful. And if it was too easy to succeed, then there would be nobody who failed. And so I think it's just part of life, and I think failing is not always bad. Failing is good. You can learn a lot from it, and it will make you stronger for your next thing. It's part of nature that you don't know everything. You can't be successful all the time. So, but if you work hard, if you are good at looking for luck and finding luck and finding opportunity, you have a good chance. But it definitely, like, you should never be afraid of you should never be afraid of you should never be afraid of failure, because failure is just one of the many things you have to try to succeed.
失敗は成功のもとなんで、失敗を恐れずに頑張って挑戦してくださいというような話なんですけれども、Okay, I've seen so many different customer service programs in the past. What makes your product stand out?
I think that when we launched Zendesk 5 years ago or 6 years ago, I think it was a very, very different industry. I don't think that we built Zendesk because we felt there was a lack of innovation. There was a lack of great products that people really enjoyed using. And I think a lot have happened over the last 5 years, and I think we're definitely not the only company in the industry anymore, or with that approach anymore. But at the same time, the voice of the customer has never been more important than it is today. And just since we launched our product, more and more companies have definitely embraced the concept of really embracing their customers, and have understood how customer service is not only a cost center, but it's a revenue center. And I think we have a product that fits very well with how customers and companies want to engage and communicate today. And I think we've given our customers a competitive advantage by building a great tool that connects them much better to their customers.
一つ言ってしまえばいい製品を作るということなんですけど、顧客からの苦情とか声とかいうのがそれが資産であるので、それを取り入れてやっていくシステムというのを一生懸命作ったら成功したということだと思うんですけども、Do you have any advice to Japanese entrepreneurs who are thinking about moving to Silicon Valley?
I think that any tech entrepreneur today can learn a lot from what's going on in Silicon Valley and San Francisco. I don't think necessarily everybody has to move there to build their business, but it's a very good idea learning from from that area and learning from what's going on there. I think that we have learned a lot from our days in San Francisco before we moved the company there, and it's a great experience. I think if you were in fashion, you would go to Milan and you would go to Paris and learn from these people there. That's not the same thing as saying that you have to move there, but it's, if you want to move, I think one of my advice would be to get customers. It's a good way to get visibility. It's a good way to get your product tested, because Silicon Valley is a region of early adopters and companies that can give you a lot of great feedback about your product.
シリコンバレーが技術の中心なので、アーリーアダプターのカスタマーがたくさんいらっしゃるので、そこで、やれば、テストするのが一番いいんじゃないかということで、シリコンバレーに出ることを進めているということなんですけど、出なくてもいいという話だと思うんですけども。はい。Okay. What's your next step? What are you planning to do next?
So, we have so many things, of course. We are, of course, growing very, very fast, and that's a lot of operational challenges. I think we are expanding more and more internationally. So we have offices in more and more countries. We have customers in almost 140 countries today. So that, of course, in itself is a big, big operation to scale globally. At the same time, we're building out more and more functionality in the product. We're really trying to build out functionality that help our customers turn customer service into a true engagement center. And that's we have a lot of things coming up in the product pipeline. At the same time, we are moving from being a product typically adopted by small businesses and divisions within large enterprises. We are more and more becoming a company that are adopted by large enterprises. So we're moving upstream in the market, and that's of course also a huge growth opportunity for Zendesk.
はい、大企業もありますし、まだまだやっぱり、リーチできる層があるので、やることはいっぱいあると、技術的なこともたくさんやっていくということをおっしゃっています。Is this your first time in Japan?
No, I think it's my fifth time, fourth or fifth time.
This first time in Kyoto?
It's my first time in Kyoto. It's beautiful here.
How do you like it?
I love it. It's fantastic.
When did you come in?
So I only came in yesterday, but I'm staying both today and tomorrow. So I'm really looking forward to.
Did you go sightseeing?
I definitely want to spend a little time on sightseeing. Definitely.
Did you try Zen meditation this morning?
No, I didn't. I couldn't make it. I would have loved to seen it.
Why your company's name Zen? Zendesk?
It's a good question, and it's a great story also. I think it's one of these things in a startup's life. You go through so many iterations of your company name. You need to, we went through a lot of different iterations. I think the name. So first of all, we wanted something that resembled kind of help desk, service desk, these kind of service functions. So we wanted a name that rang familiar. And I think the Zen part came because we thought that feeling of being on top of your things, being enlightened, working with a clean desk, we wanted to expose that feeling, that sentiment in the product. So Zen became a term we adopted for the product, and we've been very successful with the name so far.
禅のような気持ちで禅のような心を持ったサービスを作りたいということで禅を作られた、禅デスクという名前にされたということなんですけれども、今日の朝も禅のメディテーション、には行かれなかったんですけど、How come you didn't go to Zen meditation then?
I couldn't do it. I had another thing this morning, so I thought I couldn't make it, but I would have loved to do it.
What's your impression of Infinity Venture Summit? Is this your first time?
Yeah, it's my first time. It has a great reputation. Everybody's talking very favorable about it. And for us, it's always been very important for us to connect with the startup community. The startup community is such an integral part of Zendesk, and we've been working with so many great startups and very much consider ourselves a startup. And this is where we learn a lot. This is where we see a lot of the new trends. And this is definitely a community that we want to be a part of. So And it seems like that this summit is definitely the first and primary event for startups in Japan. So we're very proud about being invited here and being part of this.
スタートアップのコミュニティに入っていることが非常に重要だと考えているので、それにはインフィニティベンチャーサミットというのは非常にいい機会になるんじゃないのかなというお話なんですけども、Startups are your main customers or big companies?
No. We have more than 30,000 businesses, more than 30,000 customers. So startups is just a small percentage, but we've been learning a lot from the startups, and it's often where you see some of the first trends, and this is where you see some of the early adopters of new trends, and we've been learning a lot from that, from the startup community.
スタートアップというのはアーリーアダプターが多いのでいろいろ学べるということでスタートアップのコミュニティに入ってきたということなんですけれども、Okay, the IVS just started. What do you look for in the next 2 days? What do you want to achieve?
I'm looking forward to hearing some of the sessions and really to connect with a lot of the people here and hear about what they see in the market, what they see here in Japan, and hopefully create some good relationships with other companies and with maybe there are companies we can help in Silicon Valley and vice versa. Maybe there are companies here that can help us with our expansion here.
日本のスタートアップシーンでどんなことが行われているのかということを学びたいというのと、それからいろんな人に出会いたい、それでシリコンバレーの人とつなげていきたいということをおっしゃっています。Is there anything you want to say to foreign companies that are thinking about attending IVS?
I think, as I said, I think you learn a lot about the tech scene. You learn about a lot of the business climate by meeting startups. It's kind of an eye into economy. It's an eye into an industry. It's an eye into a market. So I think you learn a lot from communicating with the startups. And I think we learn a lot from engaging with the startup community. We learn a lot from talking to them about the trends and the challenges they see in the market. And I will definitely, everybody who are interested in the Japanese market and want to learn more about it and want to figure out how to be successful also in the Japanese market and want to build new type of relationships with Japanese companies, this is a great place to start.
ここは日本のスタートアップと一番つながるのが最適な場所だということで、お勧めしますという話なんですけども、I understand you attend a lot of different conferences all over the world. Compared to other conferences, what's the difference? What's so hard about Infinity Venture Summit?
Let's see, but I think this is a great event. It's very well organized. A lot of interesting things on the agenda. A lot of interesting people, and there seems to be very good vibe about it. Where everything from the reception they had the last evening to the reception that'll be tonight, it's a good way of getting people together. So there's a very authentic, very honest approach to it, and people are very approachable, and we definitely enjoy that.
非常にうまく運営されているカンファレンスなので楽しんでいますということなんですけど。So what do you expect for the next 2 days? Today, the rest of today and tomorrow. What do you want to achieve?
So again, I look forward to hearing some of the presentations. There's some really interesting people here. I look forward to meeting a lot of the other participants in the conference, spending time with them, and create relationships that are beneficial both for the companies here and for Zendesk.
Do you have any message to Japanese startups? Japanese companies in general?
No, I think I look forward to meeting all the Japanese startups, and we've been fortunate to work with some of the Japanese startups like Sansan, which is a great company, and we've learned a lot from them. I think that Japan, in many ways, is a unique market. It's a different market from so many other markets, and there's the cloud adoption is different here than we see other places. The reseller channel here is different than we see in so many other places. And I think that Japan has an interesting opportunity to create a very unique model for cloud and for SaaS and for new type of software industry, and it's just going to be very interesting to follow.
他の外国と比べて、基幹系のソフトウェアというのがやっぱりちょっと日本はユニークなんでいろいろ学べるところがあるんじゃないのかなということです。Is there any sessions today and tomorrow that you're really looking forward to?
So I think what is it, the Rakuten, when are they talking? Is that today or tomorrow?
Today.
That's today. Is that right now?
I think it's
so
right
I'm
now.
missing it right now. Thank you. Yeah. So there's definitely a couple of people I would like to hear.
How come you're interested in Rakuten?
Oh, it's a great company. They do so many different things. And I think some of them are actually using our software. Maybe I cannot talk about that. Sorry. So they do a lot of very interesting things. Everything from their investments to some of their companies to some of their products. It's a company that we can all learn from.
いろんなことを積極的にやってる会社なんで、学ぶことが多いと思うので楽天のセッションを聞きたいと思ってました。I understand you just came out of an hour session, but is there anything that you wanted to say but you didn't?
No. I look forward to connecting with the startups there and to hear their reaction to our story and to learn from them. So I look forward to a couple of great days here.
言い足りないことはないんですけども、これからいろんな人に出会うのが非常に楽しみにしていますということでした。Okay, thank you very much.
No, thank you.